Hey, hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this Azure DevOps tutorial series, let's discuss about how to retry a failed task in Azure Pipeline. Okay, a quick recap about task. We already had a discussion about a task in one of our previous videos. A task in Azure Pipeline performs a set of action. Okay, it can either run a script, it will fetch few inputs, and it will do many more. Okay, a task is something which will run in sequence in a pipeline. Okay, let's consider there's a job will have a set of tasks which will run in sequence one after other. Okay, for some reason if a task is failing and you want to retry it many more times, in those situation Azure Pipeline provides you a easiest option. There is a parameter called retry count on task failure. Okay, with this particular parameter you can easily retry a particular task and achieve, in case if there are any issues, in case if there are any temporary issues like say network connectivity or server issues or any other temporary issues. Okay, so let's go into a pipeline and see how we can actually use this property and achieve a retrying in a task in an Azure Pipeline. Okay, so I will first go into a pipeline. Under pipeline, let me take Project Online DevOps Demo 1. This is the one I was using for demo purposes. I will edit it. Let's see the pipeline. Okay, so in this YAML I have multiple stages and I have jobs, and inside this job I have a few steps, like it has multiple tasks. Okay, this is task 1, this is task 2. There are multiple tasks. Okay, so for some reason I want to make this make one of a task fail. Okay, so that I can actually see if the retry is actually happening. Okay, what can I do is, okay, there is a publish build artifact task. Okay, so here the artifact name is drop. So in my next deployment stage I need to download the artifact, which is I need to download the created artifact drop and then perform certain set of actions. Okay, let me do something. Okay, so I am gonna provide a artifact name which does not exist. Instead of drop, let me put as drop 1 2 3 4. Okay, this is not an existing one, so I'm ideally expecting this to fail. Okay, so and then once this fails you need to provide a property called retry count on task failure. Okay, by default it is 0, but ideally we wanna try it more than once, right? So I'm for now I'm giving it as 2. There is no specified limit. Okay, there is no specified limit on the number of retries you want to do, but ideally I've seen maximum people don't try more than 10. Even 10 is a huge number, but still in case if at all required you can give that number. Ideally 3 to 4 is the best practice to provide a retry count. Okay, so for now I have it as 2. One thing to note here is this is actually a parameter of task. Okay, if you note the indentation, it does not comes under input, it actually in par with the input. So if you look at the indentation, it actually is a parameter of a task. Okay, so retry count on task failure for 2. So what I'm just going to save it and run it. Let me run this pipeline now. Okay, you can see my build stage kick started, and next one will be the deployment to development stage. So I will wait for some time. I will pause this video while meanwhile this runs. Once this completes I will resume back. Yeah, I'm back now. So now the build is successfully completed. You can see a build is successfully completed and the artifact is published. And then during my deployment stage you can see the download build artifact task actually failed. If I scroll up, you can see there are 3 times. Okay, the error is displayed 3 times, which indicates the first time when the actual task was actually run, and next 2 times are the retries. Okay, we given as retry count as 2, right? So it has tried 2 times, so the error got displayed here thrice. Okay, so if I go into this task in detail, let me go here. So now if I go to the download build artifacts task and check the console, you can clearly see the task like the error details here. So it is trying to download the artifact, but it is telling artifact drop 1 2 3 4 was not found. Okay, this is something I made it to fail intentionally so that I can give the demo very clearly, but ideally in real time, okay, so you will face some server issues with APIs, those kind of situation. Okay, for example, server tasks that actually call the external systems like Azure functions or invoke REST APIs, right? Okay, these kind of functions can actually fail occasionally due to transient errors like compute resource exhaustion and all. Okay, so what these kind of errors will do is, these kind of transient errors earlier, it will cause the entire pipeline to fail. Okay, which is not good, right? So in order to improve the resilience against the transient errors, Azure DevOps Microsoft team has introduced a property called retry count on task failure, which actually gives us the flexibility to retry the failures so that the pipeline runs successfully without any issues. Okay, so this way you can easily achieve retry at a particular task level. Okay, so one key thing to note is, in earlier versions of agent, this retry might not work. Okay, this retry property might not work. So if you want to use that property, I think ideally latest to Azure DevOps Server 2022 will actually support this retry property, and you can easily use this in situations where you think the failure is where the build is flaky, or whether if the task is flaky, right? In those kind of situations, you can actually use this property and achieve greater resolution for your Azure DevOps pipeline. All right, so I hope you found this information useful. If you like this video, please subscribe and follow my channel. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you.